that one of the things that helped us most through all of and I'm sure many parents can relate to this, the tears at the table and the
Yeah.
real moments where your heart breaks and your child's heart is breaking at the same time.
Mm.
One of the ways we found to preserve the relationship the best was that we were on a team against the brain. It wasn't me against the child. It was
Yeah.
me and them against that darn brain. We made that brain this entity that was outside of them.
Oh, I
And
love
we could both
that.
get really super mad at that brain that didn't want to work right today. And that
Mm.
we were
Mm-hmm.
both equally frustrated. When you do that, you kind of
Mm.
become an unbeatable team.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's impossible for the child not to personalize it. And the only
Mm-hmm.
way I learned that was, of course, by screwing it up, having my children look at me and the tears and realizing, oh man, I
Mm.
really blew it with the language I used, and by trial and error. And my kids have told me that has helped them the most. That recognizing that it was the brain that was faulty, not their soul, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
That
Yeah.
who they are was perfectly fine, and
Mm.
that it wasn't their fault. Make it, there's
Mm.
nothing to build a team like having an outside enemy, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, and it puts you as their coach versus
Yes.
being their opponent,
Yeah.
because that is not the place you want to be because they will naturally fight you because you're safe. But you
Yes.
you want to be behind them and teaching them and coaching them to fight the
Yeah.
real enemy.
And
And
that messaging is really, it sticks for the rest of their life. It really
does.
does.
Hmm.
So, and then you become their teammate for the rest of their life too. I mean, the messaging
Yeah.
works both ways, very positively or negatively. So, I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to throw that out there because it had been such a huge impact in our life to change the way we think. And I probably salvaged relationships by doing that.
And the relationship is the most important thing, especially as you get into those teens and the young adult years. You want them coming to you.
Yeah.
You want them to have a safe place.
Well, and as the parent, as the educator, you want to do a good job, and
Mhm.
you want your kid to fall in line so you can look like you did a good job, so you can feel good about it, right? I mean, that's just
Right.
honest. And that's really not your kid's job to make you feel good about what you're doing.
No, it is not.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it really is easy to forget in the trenches, but um,
Yeah.
you know, the ultimate thing at the end of it is the relationship. And that
Hmm.
sounds kind of canned, but in the long run, if you manage to educate your kid and they end up going to the Ivy Leagues and you have no relationship at the end, and
Yeah.
they haven't turned out to be a person of good moral character and
Hmm.
kindness has settled into them,
Yeah.
what's the point? What have you really done? And I always try to remind myself about that when we were having those really tough days, that wasn't the most important reason why we were homeschooling.
And I'm going to quote you on this. He said, educating our kids to be confident, independent, capable, and kind human beings is what really matters.
Well, I guess I at least say the same thing more than once, right? I guess that really is my theme. Yeah,
But
I wholeheartedly believe that. And I think when it's hard and a child can't learn very easily, it's
mm,
easy to forget what really is supposed to matter.
yeah,
And you want an
it is. It
intact
gets so
heart when you
frustrating.
end. Yeah.
And you let the frustration take over, and
Yeah.
that's when it's not productive.
No, no, and it really is. It's I just keep going back to it. It's soul shattering.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
at the end, at the end of 12th grade, you want to look at that child and see love reflected back at you,
Yeah.
and watch them in the world be a source of light, not a source of darkness.
Yeah.
And if you've accomplished that, boy, you've done more than a lot of people have, regardless of whether they can
That's
read at a
so
college
true.
level or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.